What if Naruto and Luffy swapped roles? How far would they get if they switched fights? Who would achieve Pirate King or Hokage status? Which anime would be better? Today we have two teams of three that will be defending Naruto and Luffy. Team Naruto has Gabe, Chinn, and Pari. Team Luffy has Joe, Preston, and myself. At the end, Tracy will decide which team wins.
Hey, wait, before we get started, I just want to let everybody know I am a fair judge despite my One Piece hoodie, okay?
And the two Luffys in the background.
Wait, look at my chair.
Show the proof.
Look at my chair.
But why are you hiding your Naruto fandom though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, it's not balanced.
That's not it.
Bro, I can't see any of this until you stand up.
Yep. Look at this.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Okay.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking right now. He's got more? Oh, hell no.
Hey,
Oh,
there we
damn.
go. There we go.
We're gonna be talking about the fights. The fights is probably gonna be the longest one. So I've compiled a list of all their major fights that you guys can see here.
Sheesh.
Eventually.
And we're basically just going to be going through really quickly where Luffy's at in the story and, you know, how far he would get going up against Naruto's major fights, and then the same thing for Naruto against Luffy's. For the second topic, we have goals. So for goals, we're not talking about if they switch roles, just if they switch anime, right? Where would they be? If Naruto was in One Piece, what would he be like? The third topic is character match. So for character match, we have to find a character in One Piece that most closely resembles Naruto, and then the same for Luffy. And then for the bonus round, what would Naruto's bounty be in One Piece? What would Luffy's ninja rank be in Naruto?
Are we talking about if Luffy is just plopped into Naruto, he does not have chakra, he legit has his and his ish alone?
I think it's just them as a character.
It's them as a character, so it's like, yes.
It'd be hard to swap because then Luffy wouldn't make it in Naruto because
He actually would. He actually would.
He wouldn't because none of his abilities would apply because you're putting him in the Naruto universe. So his
absolutely.
entire crux is his devil fruit.
Okay, so yeah. Let's get there because this is what you coming with, Gabe?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Why is Ray
see,
Go ahead, start it up.
Okay, as we prepare for some of these horrific anime takes, BetterHelp is here sponsoring today's video, just in case you guys need somebody to vent to after this. We all have issues that we need addressed. Traumatic experiences like seeing Ace and Rengoku become donuts is something that we've all had to endure, but we sweep these painful moments under the rug. Well, not anymore. BetterHelp was created to solve this exact problem. See, if Ace used BetterHelp, he would have avoided Akainu altogether. In all seriousness, BetterHelp has helped over 4 million people successfully. Issues related to sleep deprivation, depression, toxic relationships, everything can be fixed through BetterHelp. How does it work? Well, BetterHelp allows you to schedule appointments with one of the many 30,000 plus online licensed professional therapists. After filling out a quick questionnaire, they even match you to the right therapist in most cases under 48 hours. These sessions are 100% private phone and video calls, or you can even use messaging. And if you want to request a different therapist, you can do so at any time, free of charge. I would personally recommend BetterHelp to anybody close to me because of how efficient and effective it is. Click the link in the description down below to get 10% off your first month using BetterHelp. Thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. All right, so the first topic we're going to talk about are the fights. Now, if Naruto had to take over in One Piece and follow Luffy's role, how far would Naruto go? So obviously we think that pre-time skip Luffy is going to be a-okay against all of Naruto Part 1's major fights. Luffy would be going up against Haku, but again, Naruto did have help against Haku as well, so we think that would be easy clean sweep for Luffy in Part 1. Orochimaru, right, Orochimaru would be easy. Kiba, we're not worried because Luffy pre-time skip had access to Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, so Kiba's getting out of there. Same thing as Neji. The first major problem that we would have to worry about is against Gar, because we know Gar had access to Shikaku with the summoning jutsu and everything as well. He would have an attack that is similar of size to a Shikaku. And we also have to understand that Luffy did have access to Conqueror's Haki pre-time skip. We saw it in Marineford. So something like that popping out as well, Gar would have an issue with. Itachi versus Kisame, I mean, Naruto had Jiraiya there with him. You give Jiraiya and pre-time skip Luffy together in a duo against Itachi and Kisame, and Luffy is still gonna make it out alive. Kabuto, same thing. I am not worried. Kimimaru and Sasuke, I mean, Sasuke would be a great fight to watch. I would love to see it, but I do believe that pre-time skip Luffy is going to be clearing all of Naruto Part 1's fights. He'll make it out. He'll be okay.
Even with the Sasuke fight, I mean, we talk about Sasuke being, with the Chidori being obviously the main vital blow that he does to anything that Naruto has.
All of the fights that he needed help with, but all of the fights for the most part that were singular for him, 9 times out of 10, like he kind of swept through those. Same thing with Luffy. But if we're talking about Neji, he's clearing Neji. Like, what is Neji going to do as far as chakra? What is Neji going to do as far as chakra? He doesn't have any chakra. Like, what are you going to do? Kiba? Are we serious?
I mean, yeah, I don't even know why Kiba's on this list. That was a cool.
Get him out of here.
Yeah.
What is Luffy gonna do against Neji?
Okay.
Naruto literally had to create clones to confuse Neji from the ground to beat him. Luffy is a straightforward fighter. He doesn't have tricks. He doesn't have things to get through Neji's Byakugan. Sure, Neji may not be able to shut down his chakra, 100%, because he doesn't have chakra, right? But we're assuming he has chakra when he's in Naruto, because he's in Naruto now, right? What is he going to do?
What is the Byakugan going to do against Luffy's speed? We've seen this, because let's be for real, Luffy pre is faster than Neji, and we've seen to where even if you have the eyes, like for Naruto, for Sasuke and Rock Lee, whether you have the eyes or not doesn't matter. It's if can you be fast enough to keep up with the movements. Luffy's going to be faster than him. That has nothing to do with this situation.
So then let's take that argument and apply it to Sasuke. Thought maybe you guys would struggle with Gaara if Luffy was in that position, but Luffy is pretty stretchy, so if he tries to get crushed, he'll probably withstand that. So then your biggest opponent is probably Sasuke. Sasuke is also very fast. So how is Luffy going to even land a hit?
Luffy is no stranger to anything of that magnitude.
I mean, and we're talking about a high level of observation hockey.
Observation hockey. You know what I'm saying? So Luffy is no stranger to that.
I don't think Luffy pre-time skip beats Sasuke because Luffy's main
weakness
weakness
is
is piercing attacks, right? Chidori, yeah, lightning, whatever, but like the main thing for Chidori
Also
is
skipping the fact that
piercing
there's people with
attack.
weapons
So
like
is
that.
Sasuke
Kimimaro.
is a-
He's all piercing attacks.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? This dude has almost died several times.
I think one, we are like gravely underestimating Luffy's durability, number one. Honestly, if we were going into a slugfest, Luffy is getting up every time. And I don't want to talk about pre-time, but even post, there has been times where like Luffy should have you bring up Crocodile. I don't care if you put it in the writing or not. There are times where he should have died 3 freaking times and he got back up.
That's the thing, is Luffy
No.
he needs help to get back up.
Yes, he does.
Naruto
Yes, he does.
his life
He
preserver.
never
But it's
would have
all-
made it to
but
Crocodile if his
still
dad
help.
didn't save his.
But that's
What are we
still
talking
help.
about?
But that's
He
still
was
help.
getting beheaded. I mean, I also think you're overlooking Gaara. Like, Gaara literally can encase Luffy in sand and just hold him there and suffocate him. And he died. And he died.
He fought
And he
Crocodile.
died.
If
What are we-
Luffy
what are we
died,
doing?
One Piece would have ended.
fought
Luffy is still
Crocodile.
alive. Let's
Bro.
not do that.
He literally
like-
died in his
Let's
first
not do
fight
that.
with Crocodile.
The thing is-
And he found out by happenstance, if I wet Crocodile, I can do damage. The reality is, he's going to fight Gaara the first time, and he's going to lose
Which is
to
a
Gaara the
smart
first
fighter,
time.
by the way.
Listen.
He actually found out that he could use water. Smart.
After he died, and God gave him an epiphany. What are we talking about?
All right.
If dudes are moving at light speed,
all right,
they
all right,
would have
Tracy,
ended the
Tracy,
anime a long
that's
time
time.
ago.
I
No
did
one's
that.
moving at
Gabe,
light speed.
Gabe,
All right. We gonna move on to post time skip now.
yeah. All right. Basically, Alvida, Captain Morgan, Buggy, Kuro, Krieg, they're like pedestrian citizens. Like they're getting washed. Like you have the Nine Tails chakra, you have Rasengan, you have Shadow Clones, and summoning Jutsu.
Smoker's a threat.
That's where like the first issue comes up.
Gosh, he comes in and saves Naruto from Smoker, bro. Like,
Replacement stepson. I'm gonna save you. Yeah, the very first issue is Crocodile because obviously he has his poison, he has his sand powers. But again, we've seen Naruto handle, if he has his Naruto Kurama chakra, right? It's not touching him. It's creating a protective barrier around him. When we get to Bellamy just be bouncing everywhere. He's not a threat ever. Like whatever. Anel has to deal with every single one of his thousands of shadow clones, as well as like Anel is, even though he has the speed of light, lightning powers. Like we've seen again, as you guys have said, you know, you saw Luffy handle his lightning. Naruto has handled Sasuke's lightning. Like I would say Aokiji could potentially be a problem, but he didn't fight. He didn't fight him, right? Like Aokiji just came up, said like, "Yo, Nami, nice rack and then just like bounced.
It's not a fight.
So
now Kizaru's an interesting one because Kizaru moves at the speed of light apparently.
He comes in to
Everybody
reinstate the chapter of when they get separated.
Because the same way that
to show overwhelming force, so
yeah,
it's not
but also the same way that Jiraiya helped
not a fight.
Luffy against Itachi and Kisame. This is the exact same thing. Rayleigh comes in and helps Naruto against Kizaru, so it's like
and then
it's
Kuma bumps
yeah.
him everywhere else. So
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just say this. If Naruto went to go
Ace.
save Ace, Ace would have lived.
Ace would have lived.
I'll make this really brief. Naruto has no speed to deal with a lot of these characters. Kuro, speed. He has no speed. We don't really see Naruto's speed, honestly, until maybe about that Naruto Sasuke first fight. So that, number one, is crazy. I don't know what Naruto is going to do because we don't see speed from Naruto like that. We don't. Y'all are really skating through Arlong, who, if we get Luke...
Listen, what blew me away was Naruto's washing Marine Ford and saving Ace. That is the most
crazy.
When Luffy was in Marine Ford and they were talking about him being the son of Dragon, he automatically was a target from he touched down. I think that amount of pressure and seeing what Luffy even had to do just to even get over the wall to get close to Ace was already gonna be super tough for even Naruto. I mean,
if Naruto touched down, they would have said he's the son of the fourth Hokage and he has the Nine Tails in him. Go after him.
You have pacifistas, you have Mihawk running after you, you have all of these things going on. I think it's a little bit
did two swipes and he called it.
If Naruto lands down and he does shadow clones, nobody is finding the real one.
Do y'all not know how many attacks
like,
in one place could wipe out 20, 30 clones? Like, y'all are tripping.
Tracy says it's time. It's time.
I want to do this.
Okay,
I want to pick
Pari.
a representative from each group to speak. 30-second round from each, and then I'll give a point.
Okay, Preston and Pari. They're fighting IQ.
They're fighting IQ. Sizable threat from each verse. All right, we would say pre-time skip. That would probably be like Sasuke. That would be Luffy's hardest fight. Or Kimimaru. One Piece, we could just go with Magellan.
I think it's hard to decide. They are the same like character when it comes to battle IQ, but he does the same things as Luffy, as in like charge in. The only reason why he doesn't, or like maybe he thinks about it, is because Sasuke is there, or Kakashi is there, or somebody like that. But we've seen to where if they're not there, Naruto does some knuckle-headed things. 9 times out of 10 saves him is some type of luck. Like with Kiba, he should have got washed, but what happened? He farted.
I would say Luffy is definitely a dunderhead with how he approaches his battles, because he goes straight in, charges. Eventually, after failing so many times, he'll find a weakness, and then he'll constantly try to hammer that in. Naruto, on the other hand, because he has more of a toolbox, that means he has to put more strategy into how he applies it, especially Shadow Clone. Summoning Jutsu, how to work together with what you're summoning to make the most out of it, is a strategy-based technique. Naruto is also getting Kurama talking in his ear to help buff him, and Naruto uses a lot of decoy tactics, which means intelligence is being applied so that he can make the most of those work, so that he can land hits. Luffy doesn't use those because he goes straight for it and has to use constant strength, reviving, persistence.
I think, though, out of the two, I would probably have to go with Team Naruto on this one, just because of how they stated Luffy's weaknesses against certain people and how he would fare against like piercing moves and stuff like that. Going into the next argument, capitalize more on the pure luck that both of these characters have to activate.
NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
Luffy got mad luck! Luffy got mad luck! L is in his name for a reason! Luffy got mad luck!
Yo,
this
what's
dude had
crazy
L,
to me?
first letter of luck.
What's
he
crazy
wasn't
to
even
me?
supposed to make it out his childhood.
What's
He
crazy
died in
to
his
me?
childhood and Ace and Sabo saved him. Naruto was never in a situation like that when he was a kid. This dude is
No. Hey, yo, you serious?
You're not serious. You're not serious. Post time skip. Joe, you want to open this up because you've just been a little quiet?
Come on, family, man.
Yeah.
Let's go, Joe.
I love when Joe talks.
Some of the points that we brought in, obviously we have with Naruto having Gear 4, so obviously Take Man, Bounce Man, Snake Man, obviously. The speed that obviously Naruto's, I know we're bringing up the speed again, but the speed that Naruto has, especially with Snake Man, the future Sai Haki that he obviously has, we saw a lot of that with Kizaru, with Katakuri, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, I'll let you guys pick it up from there.
Okay, for sure. Datara is getting stomped out.
No, we gotta keep going.
Sasuke early on on is getting stuck down. We have the speed. And let me lock in.
Wait, real quick. I'm gonna let you lock in. Where is Luffy at in his progression when he's fighting Deidara?
Gear 4.
What is he doing?
Kakazu, I think Luffy, at this point in the story, would definitely be able to get by. I mean, you have Shikamaru that's there as well. You have Kakashi. You have a whole bunch of other people.
Shikamaru does a lot of the fighting of your main opponent.
Yeah, so now we're on to Pain. I'm not listening to Gabe saying that Gear 4 wouldn't be counted here. I think Gear 4, we definitely have it by this time. He's definitely popping it out. Now we have like the second instance with Sasuke. Not really worried at all there. Edo Tensei, Nagato, and Itachi, still not really worried. But as we are getting closer to that fourth Great Ninja War, I think Luffy is getting closer to that Sun God Nika form. So once we start talking about that in Gear 5, it really gets very problematic for the Naruto-verse. The hacks that Luffy has access to.
Speed and observation are going to be an issue for a lot of Naruto characters.
When you're against Pain and you're on the ground, nailed down, Hinata is getting beat up. Naruto got out of that by going into a berserker mode with Kurama. So he had internal outside help. Luffy doesn't have an internal outside help, and he definitely doesn't have Nika at that point. So how are you guys getting out of a binding situation?
Conqueror's Haki is the biggest factor that Luffy would have. Conqueror's Haki is literally imposing your will.
How are you gonna impose your will on Pain? His main body's not even there.
You're helping me.
Huh?
That's my point to you.
How is he gonna shut him down?
You
can't. He's not just gonna just shut down the pains. It's not gonna happen.
You have to go through and fight all the bodies of Pain, and how are you tackling each
to
body?
even get to Nagato?
But what I'm
against soul stealing, how do you plan to impose that?
With Conquerors?
Against your soul literally being sucked out.
You guys are putting.
That was
kind of wicked.
Needed that.
That was kind of wicked.
That
was
super necessary.
You
had Pain on your soul, bro.
Yo, welcome back to Hentai Showdown.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Is Luffy actually smart enough to figure out Pain's kid? I think that's the point that they're making right now.
The issue is here, Rob, is that Luffy is fighting 6 people at once. This isn't a 1v1. He has to make it past summonings. He has to make it past gravity. He has to make it past soul stealing. He has to make it past the almighty path. Luffy without help, which is what happens in this fight in Naruto. He's by himself.
Luffy fought against an entire army by himself. What are we doing? What are we doing? You're talking about people that have...
It takes a village to beat Pain. You can't beat it solo. That's not how it works.
His crew, that would be a different story. And then I'd see him making it.
Yes.
He could actually divert the focus for him to focus on the main fight against Pain.
To go with Team Naruto.
Know that we have been on the Pain versus Luffy fight for 30 minutes.
Volume on the fact that they won't get past it.
It's been 30 minutes.
Now we're gonna have Team Naruto breaking down post time skip Luffy's fights.
The way that that Luffy goes about beating Hody and goes about beating Caesar Clown, because Hody is really like sheer force. Yeah, you're underwater, but then when they were in that like bubble, it was hey, like you can breathe, you could still do your powers and stuff. And then Luffy basically he overcomes him through sheer force.
Who would you say is an equivalent Pain moment for Naruto?
I think Doflamingo and Pain are equivalent.
Okay, so he has like Sage.
I would say he has Sage mode at Doflamingo.
Well, not as threat, but in terms of
I just wanted to know like where Naruto's powers were. I think with Doflamingo, it does come down to the Rasen Shuriken with the Sage mode, because even though Doflamingo can actually heal himself by stitching up all of his organs and stuff like that, the Rasen Shuriken attacks at a cellular level. Then when it comes to Cracker and Katakuri,
I had to look up Cracker and then I just laughed because I was like, this is just a wash.
Yeah.
That one's not even a fight.
Against Katakuri, Katakuri has his Mochi form. He has invulnerability to basically like initial hit physical attacks, but Naruto has all of these multi-hits. Basically, if you said Katakuri has like super armor, right? He has like super armor in a fighting game sense.
How do you think that Luffy is dealing with Final Form Sasuke?
At that point, he has Gear 5.
But how is he using Gear 5 to beat Final Sasuke? Just give me a scenario where Sasuke does his technically his OTK, right? Which is I gravity pull you in, Shinra Tensei. I hit you with Amaterasu blade right through your chest. How is Luffy countering that with Gear 5? That you've seen him use Gear 5 for.
Gabe has a valid point. Amaterasu is like the purest of flame, and as soon as it touches you, like it's spreading all over your body.
The eternal flame.
There's been more than enough that's been shown from Gear 5 Luffy though. Personally for me, I think again, future sight observation hockey is something that would definitely be a factor. The fact that you're not even considering that Luffy will be able to see Sasuke's movements from far in the future and be able to react in Gear 5, which is, I think, is a difference. I think Sasuke final form, final arc is very, very powerful, but I think it's more of how is Sasuke going to deal with Luffy when he's literally changing everything from the moment that Luffy lands an attack on.
The problem with the Toon Force argument with One Piece is that you haven't really seen him use Toon Force how Toon Force would be used in like a really overpowered sense yet. Not that he won't. How he's used it is in a very
overpowered. He took Kaido and jump rope with him. He makes his eyes pop out of his head. Like, I don't know what else.
Bro, people's eyes pop out their head in One Piece all the time for comedic effect. That's not a good point.
No, but
that's not a good point.
No, but what he's saying though is different with Gear 5 because it's not really.
It's not one time in one fight. It's multiple times in one fight,
and you haven't seen him use it.
Okay, all right. I have my consensus, all right? First, I feel like the actual most difficult fight for Luffy would have been Kakuzu because of all the hearts that he has. That would have been very, very difficult for him to clear because he doesn't really have an attack that does destroy people on a cellular level. Yeah. And then for Naruto, I feel like he would have struggled immensely against Horty Jones. Reason I feel that way is because since it is an underwater fight, but Rasen Shuriken is wind nature. And he would have sucked up all the air in that
Naruto can walk on water.
But nonetheless, both of y'all made very, very valid points. I'm gonna go based off of hacks though, and I feel like I'm gonna give it to One Piece on this one. I feel like
this is why
it's tied up, Gabe. You can still win. All right, you'll be okay, Pari.
We're on the go.
Keep your smile.
They just said he's got stamina, so he wins. He's got stamina. He runs. He's got stamina. Literally, this is why I like doing this to One Piece fans. Y'all are so fucking one-dimensional.
All right, so next up we have goals. So now this is if Luffy is in the Naruto verse, but he's not constrained to following Naruto's path, and you have Naruto going into the One Piece verse, but he's not constrained to follow Luffy's path. How would they be? What would they be trying to do?
What would Luffy's goal be? Luffy would probably be like a rogue, and y'all saying Naruto would be a revolutionary. Okay, which storyline would be better, and would they actually accomplish their goals? What would their goals change to based on the universe they're in?
Yes.
So, like,
okay. Let's start there.
Okay.
Naruto cares deeply, and so I think he would take on the revolutionary. He would become with the revolutionary army. He would care to protect the people he loves. Would he amass a crew? Not a true crew, but probably like the revolutionary army crew and teammates. It would be an interesting storyline because it would be through rather than a pirate and how his journey and lots of adventure take him to fighting discrepancies in the world. It would be the revolutionary path, head-on fighting discrepancies from each island and then how they tackle them.
What do you think Naruto's goal would be in the revolutionary army? Do you think he would want to be the head of the revolutionary army? Do you think he would want to overthrow the government?
I would say Naruto, if he gets pulled into the revolutionary army, right, he's going to be exposed to a lot of very vulnerable situations, as well as seeing a lot of disparities in like the rich, the poor, a lot of like.
Which he takes to heart a lot.
So he'll take that to heart, and that will end up pushing him through the story.
I think Naruto's sense of justice, kind of,
is higher than.
Yeah, it's less selfish. In a way.
All right, let's go One Piece verse.
I think Luffy in the Naruto verse would be a rogue ninja. I don't think he would want to follow any types of rules. I don't even think that being Hokage, it would be very, tantalizing for him because, paperwork and all those things, Luffy's not about that. Let's be honest with you. But having, being free, being able to adventure into foreign lands, I think he would find out very, very quickly that strength is something that he would need to have in order to even enter into certain places because people will check him. I could see Luffy following something of a rogue ninja Sasuke style. I think Luffy would try to challenge, strong opponents on purpose just to see how strong he can go to protect what he wants, which is to be the most free. But I don't think he would follow Naruto's style of being in Konoha and trying to prove himself and rank up to, Chunin or nah.
This is a very interesting point because now that you have the idea that Luffy is going to be going out and like testing himself, proving himself, whatever that be, testing his boundaries, freedom and all that, doing that in the Naruto world, I think is more dangerous than doing it in the One Piece world from the start. Because if Luffy's just leaving the village off rip, it's like him doing that, he might not even make it to like any endgame because like people are gonna kill him because he's gonna go out by himself. Nobody from the village is leaving with him. People don't do that. Like, people get stronger in their villages and then they leave. Like, for example,
Luffy did do that. Luffy did do that.
But it's not strong enough to survive in the world of Naruto on your own when he would leave the village. Because when would he leave?
They were saying that about Sasuke.
Would he just hop on the boat and just dip? But remember, he left and they sent an entire team to go get him. And it took like crazy shit for him to get out of that situation.
This is why I said
like,
he would.
But he was not trying to get caught.
I think this is tough. I think this is a really tough question. I do believe he's strong enough to handle his own, but there are some real killers out there that, like, if you are not careful, they will murk you. I think there is a strong possibility of him joining the Akatsuki.
That's a fun twist. I
fun
like
twist,
that.
but it doesn't even fit in his character.
If there is not a tail beast in Naruto, then somebody's going to be sealed with it. I don't know who. Maybe it's Hamaru. So what I'm saying is that, like, I do believe that events will still play out and somebody will still have the Nine Tails. It just may not be Naruto at that time. So, but what I'm saying is that one thing we know is that he loves freedom and he loves to travel. I do see, and he needs a crew. Luffy is one of the people that can change, like, everybody around them to make them a better person. So I can actually see him changing hearts, like, while being in the Akatsuki, to say, hey, yo, my, like, version of freedom is just a little bit different. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, the character comparison. For me personally, I could see either I'm thinking a Killer Bee or a Sasuke type role.
Sasuke is power hungry, so you would need somebody who.
But I think I guess if we're going based off what Rob was saying earlier, like, Luffy's trying to challenge the best and become
Luffy's
stronger.
more of a Jiraiya when you look at personality, because Jiraiya goes out and he explores the world.
I would
and
also
he
say
goes
Jiraiya
places.
is a good one.
Everybody in the Naruto world, it's very hierarchy and like strict based.
Right.
Everything has defined paths and defined roles, and to be a free ninja, you have to be either a rogue ninja or you have to be at a level that you can just
do whatever you want.
A walking WMD. Like Jiraiya is his own army.
I think Jiraiya is more like a Rayleigh to me. Yeah. So that's why I feel like Luffy's a little different.
Luffy just doesn't fit in the Naruto world. He just doesn't fit.
As much as I love Luffy as a character, and I think it would be fun to watch, I think that the series would end kind of quickly. Luffy would die. I'm gonna give that to Naruto.
Okay.
Hey, quick question.
Okay. For this bonus round, Tracy, you're gonna have a number in your head for where you believe Naruto's bounty would be in the One Piece world. You're also going to have a rank that you believe Luffy would have if he was to follow the ninja ranks. And basically, whoever's closer gets the W. So whoever guesses, well, I mean, for me personally, I mean, I think that Luffy would probably be around Genin. I think that early on, I think he would be following.
Yeah, that's easy to get.
Because Iruka and everybody would be keeping Luffy in somewhat check. We know that Luffy still wants to be
Luffy's
free.
Going to school. Luffy just never been to school.
Right, but he's saying
best case scenario.
I'm saying
someone keeping him in check.
If he was like at that level where he is doing like Revolutionary Army stuff, I think it'd be in like at least the billion. The world government does not know what Kurama is. They know Devil Fruit, but they don't know Kurama.
No, hold on.
So the mystery of it.
Okay. 3.5. 3.2?
Yeah.
3.5.
Wait, what?
3.5?
All right, yeah. So yeah, Team Naruto is going with a 3.5 billion berry bounty for Naruto, and Team One Piece is giving Luffy Genin rank. Tracy.
Gabe,
I wanna let you know this, okay? And I'm not lying at all when I say this.
Okay.
I had a number in my head. My number in my head was for Naruto was 3.5 billion. That was the exact number.
Wow.
When he was saying 3.2, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it to the One Piece squad because y'all said Genin, and I was like, all right, I don't really think that Luffy would be a Genin because y'all were saying that y'all thought he would fail the test. I think he would fail the test too.
The Chunin test. He would fail the Chunin test.
The Chunin test.
No, the written exam. Yeah. Oh, so y'all said he would be a Genin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also correct.
Okay, yeah, that's my boy.
Wow, look at Rob.
You're hype for Genin?
Hey, it's tapped in. I mean, well, Tracy gotta pick. You know, who I guess whose argument.
Okay,
It's between you and Tracy.
I think that it's more impressive to guess the bounty that I had in my head. So I'm gonna go Team Naruto on that.
Yo, that's my catalyst right there. Yo, that's Gabe.
That's just wild.
Let's
go.
Tracy,
let's go. The 3.5, baby.
Tracy is
pure
no
luck.
longer.
Overall, out of all of these questions, I think that Naruto rightfully won this. And even like my straight up opinion, as far as like the fights go, I think that Naruto would have a lot easier time. Not an easy time, but I think he would have an easier time getting through the One Piece verse than the Naruto verse, just because, and this might be controversial, the Naruto world is stronger than the One Piece world, in my opinion. Right.
Look at Gabe, I swear.
No, One Piece is not mid though. Okay.
It's too late, Tracy.
It's too late,
Tracy, this is what you set him up to do. This is what you set him up to do,
Piece.
Tracy.
It's too late, Tracy.
I do.
Listen, man. The game is rigged, but we
GG.
move on.
Oh my
we
god,
march
typical
on.
One Piece.
We've done the best we could. We had a strong fight today.
And your best wasn't
Make
good
sure
enough.
you guys follow everybody's socials here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for being here, man. You guys let us know down in the comment section below. Would Luffy be better in Naruto, or would Naruto be better in One Piece? And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.